Hi, and welcome back to this third video in the series on the 3 keys to overcoming emotional eating. You'll remember from the first 2 days that the answer to overcoming emotional eating is not control. It is not growing your willpower. It involves 3 main keys. Number 1, working with your habituated brain like we talked about in day 1. Number 2, healing past trauma and working with your nervous system to switch from survival to calm aliveness. Today we're going to talk about the third key, which is learning to be with your emotions and process them rather than turning to food to cope or avoid them. And after we discuss processing your emotions, I'm going to tell you about a very unique opportunity that begins very soon. 30 of you have the opportunity to take part in the next 16-week Freedom from Emotional Eating program. But first, let's dive into this important topic of processing emotions. Now, if we're being honest, most of us were never taught how to allow, honor, and process our emotions. Most of us aren't taught anything about dealing with emotions. We may have been told that we shouldn't get emotional, or, hey, look on the bright side whenever we were facing difficult emotions. In many cases, we weren't told anything at all about our feelings or how to handle them. Even the most well-intentioned caregivers may not have the skill set themselves to be able to teach those they care for how to navigate intense emotions. They probably weren't given any guidance themselves. Attempting to get rid of bad feelings is the way most people have been taught to deal with emotions. The idea of simply being with emotions, hearing them, letting them pass through us on their own is a very foreign concept to most people. Now, the point that I'm making here is that it's rare to have been given guidance on how to deal with difficult or intense feelings. Add to that a nervous system which is already overwhelmed from past traumas and chronic stress, and it's no wonder so many of us are looking for a way to escape difficult emotions, find relief and comfort through food. But in reality, the answer is not to push emotions down, not to make them simply go away. Our emotions are our guidance system, and they help us navigate life successfully. Emotions are also energy. They have to be metabolized or discharged, because when we hold the energy of our emotions in our bodies, we experience illness, addictions, nervous system dysregulation, and a whole host of other challenges. Denying or stuffing emotions is also harmful to the psyche because it is the ultimate form of abandonment. Imagine if a sweet child were to approach you and say, "Help me, I'm hurting," and you simply handed him or her over to a box of cookies and said, "Here, cookies, you deal with them. You deal with her." That's what we do with the part of us that's feeling the big emotions. We hand that part over to the food or the wine or to some other coping mechanism. The key to overcoming unwanted patterns and behaviors is to make friends with our emotions. Allow the energy of them to be felt and released rather than stuffed down and held in the body. When we stuff them down, run from them, refuse them, we essentially abandon ourselves. Avoiding emotions doesn't make them go away. It feeds them. Then they become more like angry children who are intent on being seen or heard in some way. They show up as eating addictions, other undesirable behaviors with food, drugs, alcohol, you name it. They show up as autoimmune disease, cancers, other health concerns. The point is, emotions don't go away when they're ignored. They will find a way to show up. And that's why it's time to learn how to feel them. Now, I get it. If you aren't used to feeling emotions, of course it seems like a scary thing to do. But after just a few experiences, you can learn. You'll learn that it might be slightly uncomfortable in the moment, but that discomfort passes pretty quickly and easily when the fear is replaced by surrender. So imagine the next time you feel overwhelmed, stressed, helpless, hopeless, not enough, lonely, or any other difficult emotion that often causes you to turn to food. Instead of thinking of food, imagine that you're able to pause, connect to the emotion by feeling the sensation in your body and sitting with it. Then imagine that after a couple of minutes, that emotion passes through you and you feel loved, supported, and heard by the one person who knows how to care for you best, you. Instead of abandoning yourself with food and then feeling shame, guilt, and despair, you feel strong, confident, and resourced. This is possible when you learn the skill of feeling your emotions. Now, it won't come as any surprise to you that The keys I've been sharing during these 3 videos are interrelated. They're affected by each other and they depend on each other. You're going to be much more effective in feeling your emotions when you have both loosened the hold of your habitual brain on your behavior, and you'll feel safe enough to feel your emotions when your nervous system is not constantly crying danger to you. Now, there are a few other pieces to overcoming emotional eating and so many essential tools. These pieces and tools couldn't possibly be taught in a 3-day video series, but I have created an extensive 16-week course to dive deep into everything you need to learn in order to heal your nervous system, change and build habits, think like the person you're ready to be, process emotions, end addiction to harmful substances in our food, and so much more. The Freedom from Emotional Eating course is unlike anything offered in the area of healing emotional eating. With a focus on healing trauma, regulating the nervous system, this course gives you the solid foundation necessary to finally have real solutions for your unwanted patterns with food. Now, the goal of this program is really to help you overcome emotional eating by teaching you 6 pillars. First of all, the relationship between your nervous system and emotional eating, how to regulate your nervous system through somatic experiencing, building cues of safety, reducing danger cues, etc. Working with your thoughts to reduce or eliminate negative or danger thinking. Number 3, learning how to build habits without going into overwhelm. Number 4, learning how to build that emotional resiliency I'm talking about so that there's no longer a need or a desire to use food to avoid your emotions. Number 5, the nutrition that works best to bring health back to your body. And number 6, self-love and compassion for where you are now, even while you work to make the changes that you'd like to see. This pillar also includes beautiful self-care. Now, in this 16 weeks, you'll be able to understand why you have the challenges you have with food and the tools that will allow you to overcome them. By staying consistent with the tools and strategies you're learning, you will be able to shift out of emotional eating. And since you'll have better regulation in your nervous system, you're also going to experience many other positive shifts in your life. The program is very unique in its inclusions. First of all, it has 16 modules. Each module has a series of videos that teaches the topic of the week, as well as integration work for that topic. The integration work allows you to see how the knowledge you learned applies to you. The integration work also allows you to build the supportive practices that will be so effective in changing your life. There's a library of somatic practices, there's mindful watching meditation to really help you build your own supportive practices. There's also several cheat sheets and bonus materials, weekly tracking sheets so you know exactly what you should be focusing on from week to week. And there's also an important bonus video. And this bonus video is for exactly what to do when you're in a triggered situation with food. This video can be watched whenever possible when you're in that actual triggered experience. Because when you watch it consistently in that situation, it does reprogram the brain to understand that there's a different choice in the moment that doesn't include food. Now, we also need to have loving support and guidance, and this is achieved through 2 group calls every week. In these group calls, we get to share experiences, celebrate, get guidance, support, and coaching on the integration that you experience during the week. Hearing from the other people in the group really helps you understand how this knowledge is going to change your life. There's so many other beautiful things that I want to tell you about that you can only experience in the group itself. We've had so many beautiful success stories, and I really encourage you to click on the Freedom from Emotional Eating page so that you can understand more about what it's about and if it's something that would fit your life. Now, freedom from emotional eating, it's for you if you feel out of control with food, if you often eat when you feel overwhelmed, stressed, lonely, helpless, desperate, not enough, or other difficult emotions. or if you feel shame and guilt and helpless about your relationship with food. If you feel overwhelmed, as though you simply can't take on one more thing in life. It's for you if you want to stop thinking about food all the time, eat when you're hungry and be able to stop when you feel satiated. It's for you if you want to stop fighting yourself and simply feel free with food. And it's for you if you want to lose weight and live in a body that feels light and free. If all of this sounds like something that would benefit your life, I invite you to watch out for the emails that will tell you about some integration sessions, some live integration sessions in which I will be helping you explore this information and diving a little bit deeper. But if you're really ready to overcome emotional eating once and for all, then we should definitely talk about how that would look for you, how you can put this program into practice and really start to create the life of food and body freedom. Think about it, take it into your heart, and I really hope you come away with that strong desire to make those changes, and I'll be here to support you every step of the way.